The temptation to crank up the furnace, plug in the space heaters, and light the fireplace high as we experience this Arctic blast. But it is important to remember some basic safety tips when you're heating your home. KLTV's Lauren Tier spoke with an expert for the details.
While we can be thankful for space heaters and fireplaces that keep us warm in the below freezing temperatures, using these heat sources does come with risks.
First, when you place a space heater, make sure it's on a flat, level surface, and it's at least 3 feet away from any flammables. No bedspreads, clothing of such close by.
Smith County ESD 2 Assistant Chief Doug Stricklin says to avoid using extension cords and especially power strips.
If you have to use an extension cord, make sure the cord is not damaged, it's not frayed, make sure it's large enough for the power appliance that you're using.
Whether you're using an electric space heater, a propane heater, or lighting a fire in the fireplace or wood-burning stove, there are 2 things Stricklin says are essential to make sure you have in your home.
Most importantly, I think, at this time is make sure that you have working smoke detectors and a carbon monoxide detector.
The Centers for Disease Control recommends installing a battery-operated carbon monoxide detector near every sleeping area in the home. When it comes to chimneys and furnaces, they should be inspected yearly.
Space heater fires are fairly common this time of the year, especially when it gets cold and people are trying to stay warm.
He says they have already responded to a couple chimney fires within the past couple days. Lauren Tier, KLTV 7 News.
Before heading to bed, Chief Stricklin recommends unplugging all heaters, yes, even the ones you're using, and to make sure any fires are completely extinguished.